In this discussion, we are looking at quick dive into how to make quick drop-down list on Excel and how to use VLOOKUP functions. Now, when we talk about a drop-down list on Excel, we are talking about something like this. When you look at this part where we have the loan repayment, we have the loan amount, the repayment periods, you come to where we have the repayment frequency. Then you click on that, you will see something like this. It is a drop-down arrow. When you click into that drop-down arrow, you are going to see a list of all the payment frequency or repayment frequency. You are going to see annually, semi-annually, quarterly, up to daily. Now, this is the kind of drop-down list that you want to create on Excel. We want to see exactly how we can create such a drop-down list from the scratch. That's the very first part. The second part, we want to see when we say that in a year we have a number of payments that can be made. For example, if this payment has to be made annually, then we are only going to have one payment within a year. If it is semi-annually, then it is going to be 2 times. That is the number of payments in a year. That is 2 payments. If it is quarterly, it is going to be 4. If it is monthly, it is supposed to be 12. That is under the number of payments in a year. Then if it is bi-monthly, then it is supposed to be 24 payments. Weekly, it is supposed to be 52 because we have 52 months in a year, not months but weeks. Then if it is daily, there is supposed to be 365 because that is the total number of days we have in 1 year. Now, these are the two main things that we want to look at how to create on Excel from the scratch. Now, let me just delete them. Now, we cannot just delete a drop-down list like that. We'll have to go and delete it from where we had already created it. Now, I'm just going to clear that, then OK. Then you can see it is not there. Now, let us start from the scratch. The first part is to create a drop-down list for the repayment frequency. Our repayment frequency have already been outlined on this other part. It is on column G, where we have the period. Payment frequency we have from annually to semi-annually to quarterly to monthly to bi-monthly, weekly, and then lastly daily. Now, this is the list we want to pull and place it here. Then we have a drop-down arrow from where we can just choose whatever the prepayment frequency we want. Now, the first step, we click into that cell where we want to create the drop-down list. Then at the top, we are going to navigate all these tabs from home to insert to draw to page, layout to formulas. Then we are going to settle on data. When you settle on data, we are going to come to where we have the data tools. Then under the data tools, we are going to look for the data validation tab. For my case, it is at the bottom. So you are just going to click on that drop down arrow again. Then you can see we have data validation, circle invalid data, and clear validation circle. Because we want data validation, we are going to click on that. Now this is what we have, guys. Make sure first you have clicked into that cell where you want this list to be placed as a drop-down list. Now from there, we have a window like this. The first option under this window is settings. Now under the settings, we come here where we have the validation criteria. Then we look at what we are supposed to allow. It is not any value. We are going to click again on that drop down arrow. Whatever we want to return here is a list. So we click on a list. Then we click into the data source. Click on that arrow, upward arrow. Then it is supposed to create a space for you. Now, because I do not want to type these things manually, I'm just going to select them from the top up to where I want it to be. Then I click into that arrow again. I'm coming back here. Then just click OK. As easy as that, I have created a drop-down list for all these repayment frequency. Now, one thing that will show you that you have created a drop-down list is appearance of a drop-down arrow beside that cell. When you click into that drop-down arrow, you are going to see all the values in the list that I had just selected. Now you can decide that this is what you want to go with. Now that is done, guys. The second thing, we now want to pull this number of payments. We want to pull it from this array. It is not a table but range. We want to pull it from this range and then place it here, so that when we choose something like annually, we are going to return 1 here. Daily, we are going to return 365 here. This is what we want. Again, we are going to click into that cell where we want to create, or where we want to apply that VLOOKUP function. Then we use VLOOKUP. Now VLOOKUP function, this is what it does. It looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table and then returns a value in the same row from a column you have specified. Now let us look at the arguments that are going into the VLOOKUP function. The first one is the lookup value. Whatever the value we want to look is on this cell where we have the repayment frequency. This is the value that we want. We click into it, then we go to the table array. This is the table from where we want to look for this particular lookup value, or where we want to find this particular lookup value. Now, the table array is where we have the repayment frequency. This is the table. It is not a table as such, but it is a range or array. Then we are going to select the whole of that table, but make sure that you have excluded the headings. After that, make sure that you lock everything, because if you do not lock it, these values will be moving to other empty values as you will continue moving. Now, comma, then the third argument in this case is the column index number. By the column index number, we are referring to what is the number of the column on this particular array where we are returning our value, or from where we are trying to get our lookup value. This is the array, and we are counting from column G. Whatever we want to return is on column H. Whatever we want to return is the number of payments and not the period. We want to return whether it is 1, 2, 4, 12, 24, 52, or 365. That is what we want. And we find that on this array, it is column number 2. Now we type 2. And then the last one, we are trying to find out whether this is approximate match or exact match. And because you can see each period is linked to a specific number of payments. For example, if it is annually, it is only 1 payment per year, semi-annually only 2. Therefore, that is exact match. You click on that, then make sure that you have closed the bracket, then you enter. Now let us see what happens. If we come to our drop-down list and now change from daily to annually, you are going to see the number of payments in a year, it is only 1. Let us go to semi-annually. We expect it to be 2. Let us see. Yes, it is 2. Quarterly 4, it is 4. Monthly 12, it is 12. Bi-monthly, it is 24. Weekly 52. Then 365. For daily, we expect it to be 365 payments, because we have 365 days in a year. And that is what we are returning. That's exactly how to create a drop-down list on Excel spreadsheet, and also how to use the VLOOKUP function now to match the number of payments in a year to that particular period.